Hello, welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Chris Thompson, and I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. So, today on the show, we're going to talk, hopefully make this, this might be the whole talk, about a Supreme Court decision that basically says that even now, anything that President Trump did, as long as it was on an official thing, like as long as it's done on an official, like, oh whatever, you know what I mean. If it's official business and the president does it, and the stuff that Trump did that was illegal, well, he can't be held accountable. Not even now. Not even after he's no longer the president. At least that's what I think it means. Okay, right now we haven't really had. There's a lot of different explanations of what it means, but basically, anything on an official point, anything that's done officially, is the president has total immunity to. So this is bad because it's going to affect not just him but every other president. Because you see, this is what's happening. Basically, if he does it on an official thing, like it's official channels, so like, okay, so Israel tells one of our presidents, because they're always friends to Israel, to nuke Lebanon so they don't have to deal with him anymore. He can do that, and he can be immune to it. He won't go to prison for it. So basically, anything that's official business, if he does it, he can get away with anything. I mean, don't hold me to this because no one has really fully explained what it means. I don't even think the Supreme Court fully explained what this means, but this is not good. Because it's not just Trump, it's going to be all these presidents. I mean, what if they want to do something terrible, but it's on official business, and they do it? Well, they can't be held accountable. Remember Richard Nixon when he said it's not illegal because the president did it? Dude, that's basically what they're saying. They're basically saying if the president does it, and it's official business, and it's not personal, then he can basically do whatever he wants, and he'll get away with it as long as it's official. At least that's what I'm understanding it. Some people are saying that. I've heard other terms, but yeah, he can do a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that we just don't want the president having immunity over, because if they have immunity over everything that's official business, then there's no accountability. What's with the judicial branch? Instead of doing what it's supposed to be and keeping a check on the other branches, it's basically giving complete power to the president, to the, oh come on, what's the different branches? There's the judicial, there's the, oh come on, let me see, maybe I can get some notes up here. I want to hurry up and see, what is it? Okay, 3 branches of government. I can never remember this. Sorry, I should have did this ahead of time. Oh crap. Okay, so let's see if I can figure it out by myself. Let's see. Okay, it's the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and what is the president? Come on, 3 branches of government. Sorry, this is pretty unprofessional, but I'm going to try it. 3 branches. Come on. The judicial and the legislative, but I can't remember what the president is called, what that branch is. Branches of government. Come on. Oh well, no one's watching this anyways. Okay, 3 branches of government. Are they going to put it? Executive branch. So it's the executive, the judicial, and the legislative branch. And they're supposed to keep each other in check. So they're not supposed to give the president so much power to say that if it's official, he has complete immunity. Well, that's not cool. I mean, what if Trump gets in there, or some other person gets in there, and they decide to push the button? They decide to nuke someone, and as long as it's in the name of I don't know, in the name of democracy, in the name of defending our allies or whatever, they can pretty much do this. I mean, I wonder hey man, if there's people out there, what do you think about this? If there's anyone watching it, what do you think about the situation? And like, am I just reading too much into it? Or is this like a really sad day for democracy? I mean, the government was set up for there not to be someone with the power of the king. That's what they set it up for, because they had been ruled by a king, and they weren't given the same rights as other Englishmen, because they were born in the United States, which at the time was just the colonies. So the main reason we fought the British was to have a government with checks and balances, to where none of the 3 branches have too much power. That's the whole point of it. So now we have, and this is the thing, this is what the Republicans always wanted. They wanted control of the Supreme Court, so they could purposely change everything and turn this country into a right-wing hellhole. And they're doing a damn good job at it. And I don't know, this is something that they need to make a law. But we have laws. That's what the Constitution is. The Constitution doesn't say, okay, the president has ultimate power and these other 2 branches are meant to give him more power. No, they're meant to do the opposite. I mean, this is just insane. This court is horrible. First they get rid of Roe versus Wade, and I don't care if you're for or against it. Why should rich white men, mostly rich white men, have control over a woman's body? Okay, and it shouldn't be. See, religious ideology should not be legislated, and that's what the whole thing is. That's what the whole thing is with abortion, with the birth control, is that it's just a political thing to control everybody. Let's see, people can bribe politicians, like literally bribe them, not like the campaign donations. I mean, it's like way worse than what was it? The People versus, I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, so I'm just wondering about this. Like, I'm wondering, what are the repercussions of this going to be? I mean, well, it's just like they said that everyone was making a big deal of getting rid of net neutrality, but now you got companies like Google making it harder for you to find stuff about the war in Gaza, making it harder when you search for it. So, because they don't want, the government's got their freaking claws in everybody, and they're just taking away our rights, one right at a time. I mean, Jesus, man, whatever happened, like, I mean, I know things weren't exactly like we learned in elementary school, that we ended up learning there were a lot of lies, but damn, I never thought the government would get to the point where they're this corrupt, totally corrupt. And I mean, for all you guys out there applauding this, especially you Trumpers, guess what? It affects Biden too. Biden can, I don't know, Biden can find some way to screw over Trump as long as it's in an official, as long as it's something official. So, I don't know. Maybe he officially decides that Trump is an enemy to democracy and he has him taken out. I mean, this is far-fetched, and I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't go that far, but what if it did? What if he could somehow officially assassinate Trump so he didn't have to run against him? Yeah, exactly. You think it's cool when it's your candidate that can be a dictator, but I don't want anybody to be a dictator, and most like progressives do not want total power. Nobody should have total power. I mean, what about all you Republicans that were complaining about that the federal government had too much power, and that the overinflated government that needs to keep their hands off of my stuff? But wait a second, you're against the federal government, but you're giving them more power, and it's not going to go away after Trump does it. Every Democrat's going to be able to do the same thing and get away with the same stuff or even more. So, yeah, it's funny. It's fun when your guy does it, but when someone else does it, oh no. So basically, this our third world America is being downgraded to a third world dictatorship. So we're no longer America, we're freaking North Korea. People say, oh, well, yeah, it's not that bad because it has to be official, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can find ways that you can hire people to find ways to do crooked stuff because you'll be able to get away with it. And sure, it's not everything, and it might not be as far-reaching as it is, but I mean, it could become worse depending on who's interpreting what. Okay, so it's just they're giving the president, like presidents have already had too much power. Like Obama had a kill list and assassinated an American citizen because he was part of Al Qaeda. Which, dude, okay, he's bad, but bring him in, arrest him, and give him a trial. I mean, that's just the way things are. And this thing of, and this was what was crappy about the whole thing, the Patriot Act, was that as long as they considered you, and they could just really not like you and consider you an enemy combatant and just pick you off, as long as you're in a foreign country. But yeah, none of that happened, and hopefully that won't. But it's getting to the point where they're going to be able to do more. That they're going to try to, you're going to get people in there that are going to try their best to push the boundaries of what they can get away with, and that's scary. We don't want somebody who will become a Putin. I mean, it's a good thing we came up with. I mean, we didn't always have it, but after FDR, they did term limits. So that's a good thing. So we only have, if Trump wins, remember, if Trump wins again, it'll be bad, but 4 more years is all we have to deal with. But with this law, and if it makes it to where everybody can get away with crap like Trump did, it's going to be scary. I mean, is the president going to be able to do a coup because it's official, and he says that a certain group, like, I don't know, Republicans, like, arrest all Republicans? Once again, like, this is like, I'm kind of exaggerating. At least I hope I'm exaggerating, but not on all of it. But I mean, really, this is bringing in something that can really screw everything up just because they like Trump. And then if that's what they're doing, if they're just voting for everything for because Trump, they like Trump and they want Trump to get away with stuff, well, then we need to start impeaching it's time to impeach some of the justices of the Supreme Court, because they are committing crimes by going against the Constitution. The Constitution does not say that the president has complete and total power as long as he's doing something that is official. I mean, how far can that stretch? It's just ever since Trump appointed these people, and all of a sudden we have a Republican majority in the Supreme Court, they're just doing all kinds of stuff that's like going against just like not even constitutional rights, but just like human rights. Like this idea of like I said on the last one of basically making it illegal for homeless people to sleep. That's insane. I mean, all of this is just like, it's just bad and worse. I mean, I think a while back they decided that people could discriminate against businessmen can like basically say, oh, I don't want to do this for you because you're gay and it goes against what I believe. So, and we're actually, sometimes they're mitigating things on that, mitigating government things, and like, I don't know, man, it's just crazy. It's like, we're gonna make laws to go after anyone we don't like, and we're gonna make laws to help anybody who we like, even if they're doing things that are wrong. And it's the only thing for this. It's like this is the thing. They're doing it for Trump, but it's gonna affect. This is gonna be precedent, and this is gonna affect every other president. I mean, do you guys, come on, Republicans, do you really want Joe Biden with ultimate power? Do you want Democrats to have all that power and be corrupt? Because you say we're so corrupt. So if Democrats and liberals are so corrupt, then why would you want to do something that'll allow us to be even more corrupt, as long as it's official business? I mean, that's just insane. So I mean, if anybody, if you're watching this and you have other information and that it's saying that it might not be as bad as we think it is, then let me know. And if it is, let me know. I mean, none of you guys ever comment on my damn videos. I mean, come on. Comment on the video on YouTube, or if it's on Facebook, or if it's on Twitter. No, I'm not going to call it X, it's Twitter. So, just, also share, push the share button, not the share button, well, push the share button, yeah, to share it with everybody. And then also, if you like it and like my videos enough, why don't you hit subscribe down below and just watch more of my videos. I'm trying to do it more often. So far for the last several days I've been doing a show every day. I know some of you are probably tired of me talking about the Israel thing, but that's very important to me, what they're doing to the Palestinians, because it hits me right here in my heartstrings, man. When I see little dead babies and kids, when I see little children screaming. So, I'm trying not to talk about that. So that's why that's important to me. But it's also important to me that we stay free as a country. And we've seen all these attacks on our democracy, the police going after, brutally attacking protesters, anything like that. sitting there and letting people attack protesters. So that's part of the things going on, and now we're giving more power to presidents, even though Republicans always say the federal government has too much power, but we're going to give them more because we want Trump to have ultimate power. Screw you guys, fuck off, man. I mean, these far-right douchebags sit there and act like they're all for freedom and they're all for stopping the government from having too much power, but what they really mean is they want to keep the government from having too much power when it's not their guy. But if it's their guy, they want him to have more power. They just want to be totally in control of the government. And a lot of these guys are getting all these donations from like evangelical groups to help push in like far right Christian stuff, that like forcing their beliefs on everyone. And like, I just don't know, man. This isn't the country I thought it was when I was growing up. I thought we were supposed to be this great democracy. I thought we were supposed to be a beacon for the world to become democratic, and that the people had the power, that we had the power, and that the government worked for us. But I mean, maybe that's what it was supposed to be like, but I grew up and I realized that's not what it's like at all. It's like you're allowed to protest, but then when you protest, the cops come and beat the crap out of you. Oh, unless you're a bunch of neo-Nazis, then it's fine. Because nobody thinks, like, people watch that and they're like, they're stupid neo-Nazis. Who cares? What a bunch of idiots. But when it's a bunch of kids and are starting to, and more now, the people at the colleges, and now it's spreading all over the country and all over the world, they're fucking scared because they're afraid of people having actual power. They're afraid that our voice is going to be heard so loud that they can't do the things they're doing anymore. The things that shouldn't be allowed. The things that are only allowed because they're lying about the situation. And it's like, what the hell? Where is America? Where is this wonderful country? I mean, are you out there? I've heard that there's the majority of the people want a ceasefire, but how many of the people that want a ceasefire actually wants Israel to stop what it's doing? How many of them actually want to say that the government can no longer send material aid, being tanks, guns, bombs, planes? Like, who's gonna, like, we need to say, hey, we need to get enough people together that are against this, that don't want that don't want the taxpayers to have blood on their hands, because that's exactly what's going on, man. Your taxes, once you pay your taxes, man, it's blood money. It's blood money, and it's going to murder. It's going to prop up these PACs that are able to put in politicians, and that'll put in Supreme Court judges to overturn every great freaking decision that's ever been done, and to come up with the worst possible decisions and make our country a horrible place. I mean, but our country, you know, in a lot of ways, it's not that great. I mean, what we try to make being homeless a freaking crime, and then what they should be doing. Okay, I know probably there's some people out there that you're just not going to be able to get them on their feet, but there's people there that were on their feet that had different things that happened. Maybe they were a business owner, and during COVID they lost their business because they couldn't keep it open, and you know, that sucked, but we had to do what we had to do as a country in order to not have a, man, this could have been really bad if we hadn't had these precautions where we stayed inside if we didn't need to go anywhere, where we wore a mask and all of that stuff, because it could have been bad, and it could have killed hundreds of thousands. Well, it did kill hundreds of thousands of people in the United States, but it could have killed millions in the United States instead of millions worldwide. So that sucks that it was a double-edged sword. Oh, what I was saying is, a lot of people are homeless because they just need help to get back on their feet. Okay, there's some that are mentally ill. Well, let's work on getting them resources. And then people are like, well, they're all drug addicts and alcoholics. Well, how about we put money into helping the drug addicts and alcoholics not be drug addicts and alcoholics anymore, so they can freaking get a job and get on their feet? I mean, there's ways to solve the problem. Sure, it won't get rid of all the homeless people, but give resources to people that have potential or are where they're at because things just didn't work out for them. That happens. But this thing of giving the president so much power, that's not good for our democracy. It's not a democracy, it's a republic. A republic's a form of democracy, dummies. Anyways, so I don't know what else to say about this thing, presidential power. It's just like, this could like really blow up in our faces, and like, it's just not a good idea. Our country, the founding fathers, the people who came up with the idea of our country, sure, they were a bunch of slave-owning white men, and not all of them were, but a lot of them were. But, the framework for that, it's a framework. The Constitution is a framework, and it was not meant to always stay the same. It was meant to be it was designed so we could change it to make it better, but instead we're changing it to make it worse. And like, dude, I want America to be the country I always was told it was. And one last note, I'm gonna not even celebrate the 4th of July. Not that I ever do anyways. I'm going to boycott it, but I don't know how you boycott something that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I feel like our democracy is under attack, and I'm supposed to celebrate that we have freedoms that we don't actually have. I'm supposed to celebrate democracy, celebrate freedom and rights when none of the Palestinians in Palestine, yes, it's Palestine, it always was. Well, it was for a long time. It wasn't always Palestine, but it was for quite probably a few thousand years. And so they don't have freedom, they don't have rights. They're being killed, and we're behind it. And if they don't have rights, I don't want to celebrate rights and freedom when we're backing a regime that is taking away people's right to life. I know I got back onto the thing about, come on, brain. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so Palestine. Like, I'm sorry I keep talking about it when I meant to do something else, but no, I'm not really sorry. I mean, I'm sorry if I bore you. It's just important to me. But this is also important to me because this might directly affect us. I mean, if we have a corrupt president that has too much power, what the hell is going on, man? It's like 1984, man. The book, Orwell's book, it's just like that, where they have complete and total control. Well, I'm running a little long here, and, it's been cool. This has been another episode of Chris Speaks. I'm Christopher Thompson, and I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Alright, I'll see you guys soon.